G'day, this is Captainoob, and this is Murmrgh's Lucky Dip, a video series where I get one 3-star weapon from Murmrgh, either ranged or melee, and try to make it work. RNG, let's see how good you are today. I expect terrible because it's 4 out of 76, but... Alright. Well, we've already done an LMG, so let's not repeat, let's roll again. Alright. It's another nothing prefix with faster fire rate and 1 perception. Okay. Well, at least it'll be slightly better in VATS, and the fire rate will boost the DPS to a fairly significant amount, knowing that everything's additive now. I think we could possibly make this work, especially against the crabs. The Murmrgh Queen, the big sponge, might die a little bit easier to this. Just kidding, 30% additive is nothing. Lol. Okay, so switching over to Miranda to actually get this thing working, let's go ahead and outfit this thing with the parts that I want. I want a hardened receiver here just to increase the damage. I think there's gulpers attacking the house. I should let them. It's fine. We'll go for a true long barrel to tighten up the hipfire spread and increase our range with the longness of the barrel. And we could go for a true stock here to increase our accuracy even more. Standard sights because there's nothing else to chuck on. I'm going to leave the suppressor off and I'm going to put on the station pump. Why not? I wonder what the suppressor looks like with the station pump. Ooh. I don't know what that's supposed to be. I don't think I've ever used the station pump thing before. We'll just go without the suppressor because, you know, I did a pump action shotgun fairly recently where I was just sneaking and killing everything that way. So let's throw a build together and wish these gulpers would not attack my house. We'll chuck on all 3 shotgunners and then scatter shot to make our reloads faster. Very important on a shotgun, which is going to be reloading 1 shell at a time. We'll chuck on skeet shooter, concentrated fire, and glow sight at rank 2. That'll tighten up our hipfire spread even more. Very nice. We'll grab fireproof and life giver. For these ones, tenderizer is a good pick because it's still multiplicative damage, meaning it's a very powerful perk, which leaves us 1 more for suppressor. So they're going to be hitting us for less damage. We've already got gunsmith rank 5 for the purposes of modifying the weapon. We'll chuck on Nerd Rage, I suppose, if we get down there. I'm going to be aiming to use this thing at full health, so maybe we just chuck on First Aid, since I've got a bunch of stim packs. So I did open up a bunch of dead Murmrgh ornate miner, something that the miners give you. We'll get Adrenaline, and Force is definitely a really good thing to have, and we're not going to be using Sneak, so Gunfu is a good pick here. Evasive is also good because probably won't have a lot of the staying power to actually fight things. I think Marathon is pretty good. I'm going to go for Gunfu here. If we can get a couple of one-shot kills and can chain those together, that'd be good. We're going to chuck on Bloody Mess even though it's next to useless. And we could go for Mysterious Savior to keep us around for a bit longer. Or we could just get ourselves a little bit more tanky with Ricochet, which I think is probably the better pick here. And we'll get Class Reek to make our mutations not as bad. And the gulper has been sitting there dry humping my wall for how long now? Okay, it's getting kind of distracting, but now we're doing 190 damage, and sometimes you just gotta you gotta teach the gulpers lessons here. Oh wait, no, they're just eating my crops, so that's fine. Okay, so here we are outside of the, I don't know, red rocket thing. That's like what the server was called, so we're at the Caltech server here to fill up our cars with 95. I should put 98 in my Commodore, but I don't. Now, I did say I wasn't going to sneak, but I'm going to sneak for as long as it works. And we'll probably try to go for headshots here. You'll note that the spread on this thing is super tight. It's like I put a big old choke on the barrel, but no, that's just the barrel that makes it like that. There's no choke whatsoever. I guess you could say that, in a way, the true barrel functions as a choke. I mean, you could easily just rename it, and we do have... Nice, that was nowhere fucking near me, game, and you know that. We do have Enforcer, so if we want to stop something running at us and stop them shooting at us and stagger them and everything... Christ almighty, who's even shooting me? Those guys with the laser guns, they're so strong now, I don't know why. We need to get much closer. Oh yeah, I forgot that shotguns were like sneezing on people past, like, I don't know, that range. So, I'm definitely liking the fire rate on this. That's kind of the only thing it's got going for it. We aren't making too much use out of VATS right now, but we could. Just as soon as concentrated fire wants to do something. Ooh, God. Look at that accuracy. That's garbage. That's better. Come on, Perception. We've got to do a little bit more here. Those crits are definitely good. What I could probably do is, for theorizing god rolls of shotguns, maybe I'd want myself some sort of pump action or combat shotgun, either. That's some pretty good damage. Okay, looks like we've added a bit. But a pump action shotgun, bloodied, prefix, lucky, secondary, legendary effect. That's more crits if you're unsure, or just inbred and call it B50 crit. Ugh. And maybe VATS crits faster, so that'd be lucky again. So bloodied, lucky. Now that would be a pretty good shotgun, because explosives, sure, they do alright in terms of damage, but they're just not all that useful in terms of like raw damage anymore. It just isn't the same. You only get a certain extra amount. Whereas VATS is like massive, and it's a guaranteed hit if you do get the crit. So if you can spec towards that and doing VATS auto aim kind of stuff, well, you're going to be in good shape. So this thing hasn't actually performed too horribly. I think I got the aiming down sights bug. I did. I haven't actually looked down the sights of these yet. They still have the bug where it's misaligned, but you know, you're looking at something else now. It's weird how they do like these complete remeshes, and some of them are just like skins. It's kind of weird. Remember the combat knife that was like a alien anal probe thingy? What was it called? The Invader? How that was a standalone weapon rather than a combat knife skin. Like, what's up with that? That's that's one of the weirdest things in this game. Okay, now to elevate the pressure a little bit. That's not a pun to do with the weapon skin, and if you thought that was a pun, no, that was just me trying to say, we're going to be running in against these ghouls, and we'll see how we go. We could always go for the legs here, and looks like there's no real point in doing that, because we're getting quite a good amount of damage on these guys, and I like the spread on this thing. The spread's really nice. It rewards you for good aiming, which I think is good. And the pellets that didn't hit that guy got sent straight into that guy, so that's good. It'd be cool if there was like any sort of ballistic sort of like thing where your projectiles could go through multiple targets and they don't fire into the fucking ceiling when they're at point blank. Yeah, nice one. You all saw that too. I'm doing a stim pack now. Yes, that's what we got, game. That's our shotgun. We can move on from that. So, yeah, pending those bugs don't happen, this thing, I mean, it's not too bad. I'm actually quite enjoying this weapon right now. Not enjoying being stuck on geometry, though, although this place is pretty dodgy for that. The ghouls navigate around it, but they take wide paths around everything, so I think they know what they're doing, despite being Fallout AI. Now I'm just kind of crippling their legs here. That was a bad whiff. There we go. But it looks like 2 shots will do them in anyway, so I don't think there's really that much tactical advantage to doing that, unless we encounter either a fat ass or a Wendigo down below. We might cripple the legs there just to get them on the ground and completely disarmed as a threat. A crippled limb always like gives you a stagger anyway, so we could just like shoot them basically anywhere, and if they do get staggered, if they're not doing a getting up animation first, or if we're not lucky enough to actually pull the stagger, then we should be pretty fine. Got that one old executioner style. A little bit disappointing that a headshot with a 12 gauge buckshot at point blank won't kill a ghoul in one shot. Ladies and gentlemen, that is damage nerf manifest. Eye-rolling shit like that. If I shoot something point blank with a 12 gauge shotgun, if it's a ghoul, I want it to be dead. If it's a super mutant, dead too. No exceptions. Even though I've got a basic nothing prefix on this, no need to punish us in such a way. Alright, that one's mutated. All of his limbs are going to come back. And still don't know what the other guy is. the guy around the corner. There you go, there's you to summons the threat. It is indeed a fat ass, and he's going to come right at us, but we're going to stagger him. And there we go, threat uninstalled. Which means we can just do this one executioner style. Big tanky bastard. So next Lucky Dip will definitely be doing a melee weapon, because I think we'll do five ranged to 1 melee, because melee weapons just aren't that good anymore, nor they are that interesting. So hopefully having this dropped will get the hunters thing out of the system for tomorrow, right? We'll have to see how we go. Okay, so I want to start using VATS a little bit more. Hey, my AP's not going down despite me sprinting. It's going down now, but it's good that it didn't go down when I was sprinting, because I ended up getting a couple more VATS shots out of that. Whoops, I've just cheated. Better ban me, Bethesda. You don't want me to get away with this reckless cheating that's bringing down the whole entire player base. Yeah, the Hammerman's not gonna win against a shotgun chick, I'll tell you that much. Nor will the dogs. You can be the hungriest dog in the world, but a 12 gauge buckshot will end your day. Maybe a rabid one will last a bit longer. But we've got a couple of crazy laser dudes down there. There we go, there's an aim down sights kill. It's the first time I've actually done it. See, the spread on this thing is that good that I just don't need to aim down sights, which is good because we can retain mobility and such. Now, we do have follow through. I kind of neglect to show off my legendary perks, but follow through as at full rank, I think. Right? Yeah, there it is. So that means we're going to get a 40% multiplicative, so times the damage by 1.4 for the next 10 seconds, which I'm currently squandering. There we go. And if we can go for a headshot here. Come on. You notice how he was about to drop his little thing on me, but then I staggered him out of it, so there you go. Enforcer working for me. But if the going gets tough, just cripple both the legs and he can't do jack. See ya. Ooh, he dropped 5 tomahawks. I wonder if you yeet these into the lake, the Murmrgh Queen will come out. I guess we'll find out. Maybe they're silent because they don't explode like a grenade. We'll see. Okay, looks like we've rolled Copper Squatter here, so we've got an objective marker on every single one of our enemies, which is good, which means no one will be missed. Yeah, eat my exterminator's prefix. It's finally become useful. How long did it take for it to be useful? Well, to be fair, I could have just gone and targeted the Murmrghs first, but whatever. So we should have relatively no issues with this, as long as we don't get cheesed by some sort of Murmrgh king spit. Basic level 50 Murmrgh and not having a good day. What else we got over here? I think these crackheads are around. Should be a Murmrgh king somewhere. I think it would be. Unless we drew lower rated spawns here. Well, that guy got one-shotted. That's good. Oh, killed his mate too with far-flung fireworks. Get that off of my screen, please. Off. Away. And I guess the Murmrgh Queen is going to be not summoned by yeeting a tomahawk. No. Did we hit her? We actually hit her. Well, there you go. Bit weird. Right, we'll go for... we could go for the spouts to cripple those, but it's going to take a bit. Yeah, that's only a level 60 Murmrgh Queen. Oh well. It's the spawns I got. I'm certainly not going to do this again. Let's just get out of her arcing range, I suppose, and just start shooting her legs like this. Actually kind of thankful that we didn't get a full ranked queen there, because it would have went like that but for longer. So yeah, actually pretty glad. Got a bunch of little babies to stomp now. And I got a Berserker's single action revolver. Yeah, thanks. Shut up, Mr. Gutsy. Alright, one final test, and a test that should be easily passed with use of Enforcer. Still very powerful perk, and it's not powerful in terms of damage numbers, so Bethesda can't nerf it as easily. Unless they, like, randomly change the chances for it to proc. Which, you know, they might. We'll have to see how we go. So there's one legendary Scorch Beast over there, which I'm not too thrilled about being legendary because it's just going to get more bullet spongy from here. It's a quick reload. Marauder is on today. She would have been nasty with a shotgun, but she's too busy using the heavy guns in XCOM. Swing and a miss. Let's go for the head. A lot of 95% whiffs right here. Being tag teamed here. I got surround sound, so I noticed before I got sucker punched to there. I call bullshit on that hitting me. Let's get ourselves some cover here. Yeah, try pathing around that motherfucker. Yeah, not working for you, is it? Well, at least they're courteous enough to... How did that hit me? Honestly, Bethesda, your hitboxes in this game are cooked, and you should work on fixing them. Work on fixing something, please. We don't need all this shit added to the game when the game's not fun to play yet, you know? You can worry about that after we're having fun. Oh, good. Now they're pissing on me. We'll have to plink him from back here then. Never mind, he got tired. Well, hopefully we'll get him to... How might I ricochet sound waves back at a thing? Weird. Alright, I think I clipped his wings because he looked like he was lining up for a piss and then he changed his mind. So this might be it for one of our baddie friends over here. Let's go for the torso. Waste of time targeting the head because your first three are guaranteed to miss. There's another 95 whiffer there. I'm not even sure what causes that. Does it like take the 8 projectiles and say, alright, you've got a 95% chance to hit all of them, so every individual projectile has a 95% chance. And with the 5% from each projectile chance of missing, it adds up to maybe... What was that? Adds up to, let's see, 7 times 5. What does that get you? 35? So we're actually looking at a 65% chance. Let's take that Deathclaw out before he gets Scorchified. Nah, we're going the old nerd killer thing here. There we go. That's how you kill nerds in nuclear winter. They can't counter it. Just keep an AP bar full and rush him with a grenade. Never goes wrong. So now we've got a bunch of extra targets to kill, and we ain't got the weapon for this. Even my daily runner bloodied explosive combat shotgun just struggles against these guys. It's because they've got a very big health pool. Oh, I saw that T-pose. You knew you were about to get blown into bits, so you decided to T-pose. Okay, maybe we can get a follow-through bonus here. I don't like hitting him for that number. It's gross. There we go, 78. Better. Okay, managed to kill that one quicker. We managed to sneak a follow-through bonus here, and this is why we put suppressors on shit. Because the power of that multiplicative bonus cannot be understated. I'm surprised they don't fucking nerf follow-through because of how fucking strong it is. Alright, we didn't get none of that. We didn't get none of that bonus from there. I'm gonna do some right away because I have to. Alright, good. You are now cruising for a bruising. 90 damage. Brilliant. Notice how quickly that fight was over when I started using follow-through. And when that Scorch punched me, probably should have stim packed, but I think you get the idea of this shotgun. It's not an inherently terrible weapon, but with the right rolls being used as a force multiplier, this weapon could be certainly a whole lot better. The weapons that I've used so far haven't been, like, all that bad. The LMG, good weapon. I rate it. The MG42, the junkies one I had, good weapon. The only really bad one so far is, I think it's just been the first one of the broadsider, because it's just a fucking piece of shit all around, and they've tried to fix it, but have failed miserably, so... it's not the broadsider's fault. It's not even meant to be in this game, but they really needed weapons, so they had to just pull unique assets from Fallout 4. Same thing with the Cryolator. You know, takes a lot of time making weapon assets and making them look really good. I'm not going to kill the dog. That doggo is just vibing, and I'm going to let it. So, the station pump, which is exterminators, fire rate, perception, shotgun. It's look, I've had worse, and this is probably ranks second best at this point. Maybe it's a little bit behind the 10 mil sub, but you know, the fire rate and the perception, we made use out of that. It's just a shame that a lot of these prefix in the game are just useless and should not be used under any circumstances, but that's how it goes. Ooh, you can actually see the shotgun shell in there. Ooh, that's some nice attention to detail. Good job, Bethesda. Whoever made this asset, give him a raise, because maybe he knows what they're doing. He or she. Or they or them. They could be non-binary. Anyone could be working at Bethesda these days.